But we're going to give you a little bit of a tip today, something that you can do in 30 seconds that will literally transform how your foot makes contact with the ground. Give me 30 seconds and I'll change your foot contact. 30 seconds. Okay, so let's talk about moments in time when you walk. What actually happens each step that you take. So when we walk, the heel must hit the ground first. There are occasions when the toes hit the ground first. Think about going downhill when you're on trail or walking down a mountain trail. You need to put your toes down first. Really hard to put the heel down first, depending on how steep the grade is. So normally on flat surfaces, we're thinking heel toe. That's the way that the heel's been structured to absorb the impact on the load as you walk. So the heel is rolling forward, the knee is straight, allowed to bend as the force continues along the rest of the chain, and the pelvis then is in a position to roll again over the hip joint. So we have these three occasions as you walk that allow dissipation of force through the leg. Wonderful. If it doesn't happen, what occurs? And when I mean doesn't happen, we want to hit on the outside and as backwards on the heel as you can. So we call that posterior and lateral for some fancy terms. So imagine you've got a cube as a heel and we want to hit on the outside back corner of that heel cube. So when we hit the ground, we're rolling forward on an angle. So we're going forward and down on the heel, but we're also tilting inwards. The two sums of those forward and across is on a straight diagonally motion. That motion is this rolling action forward. So the more you hit the heel on the back and on the outside, it increases that angle down, that rolling action, and dissipates the majority of the force in your body weight as you roll, as you hit the ground, heel to toe. Perfect. That doesn't happen with majority of people, and I'm going to suggest the figures are probably up to 80 to 90%. They do not hit the heel on the back aspect, posterior, and on the outside aspect, we call that lateral, as I said previously. So you're going to then, if you're not hitting outside or on the back part of that heel, you must be doing the opposite, which is going to be then on the inside and forward. And that is then dissipating more energy at the knee. Think of going downhill on a mountain trail, or at the hip joint, or perhaps in your lower back. And I think that's when the majority of people are going to be feeling that sensation. So what is the proper way of walking? I've only got 5 minutes. We're not going to talk about that. But we're going to give you a little bit of a tip today, something that you can do in 30 seconds that will literally transform how your foot makes contact with the ground. Give me 30 seconds and I'll change your foot contact. 30 seconds, okay? So in a moment, I'll explain the transformation in 30 seconds, but just think about your foot. If it's already rolling in, if it's already tilted forward, then you're going to put all that weight onto your toe, all that weight on the forefoot, the front part of your foot, each step that you take. And there's two structures that are going to be annoyed all the time, which is your heel, because the heel's not designed to put weight on the inside, forward aspect. It's designed to put weight on the outside, posterior aspect. So it rolls forward and around and down. If you're hitting more in the inside, middle part, you can't roll because you're already there. It's like turning left, but your left is already there. You can't go any further when you're going left. So think about that part. And then the plantar fasciitis, right? It's always going to be annoyed. It's one of those things that if you're always hitting the ground on the inside aspect, then you're going to have pain in that foot. Eventually, it will happen because the foot is not designed to be hitting the ground on the inside, definitely not meant to be hitting the ground on the toes. So have a go at this. Tell me what you think. First, we're just going to measure where your feet are. Where are you hitting the ground? Have a bit of a walk and just think, I'm hitting the ground here. Just record yourself. Just have a go. Record yourself walking. Have a look if you could be bothered. Probably not, but that's okay. Anyway, think about the position of your heel. And there's some images here that you can have a look at. But we're going to do an activity that's going to just change that around. Should we have a go? Before we do that, just feel what hits the ground first. Have a bit of a walk up and down and just mentally think, where are you hitting the ground? 30 seconds, and I'm going to change I'm going to change what is hitting the ground. Okay, so let's have a look. Let's see. So I'm going to get you here, and all I'm going to get you to do, right? Both feet on the ground, left foot behind me. I'm going to lift my toes with my right foot. I'm going to bend my left knee, and I'm going to tilt my ankle, tilt my toes, tilt my whole forefoot off the ground. My right knee is going to be straight. Okay, come back down. I'm going to turn the side so you can see that. Left foot's going to be behind me. Lift the toes. I'm going to rock on my heel. I'm going to bend my left knee. I'm going to bring my pelvis backwards. So you should feel that now behind your knee. Okay, let's do that one more time. Okay, so take a step with your left foot behind you. You're going to bend your left knee, lift your toes, rock on that ankle, send your pelvis backwards. Make sure your right knee is straight, and I want you to reach forward as far as you can. And then come back out. We'll try that one more time. So, bring your left foot behind you, lift your toes, rock on that heel. You're going to bend your left knee, send your pelvis directly backwards, and then reach forward. Come back up. I'm going to turn to the side so you can see that again. Take a step backwards with your left foot. My left knee is bent, my right knee is straight. I'm going to curl my toes, tilt my foot, send my pelvis backwards and reach forward. Come back up. Now, to add to it, we're just going to do one more technique. Lift the toes, we're going to rotate that heel. As you rotate that heel, the weight should be going on the back part of that heel. Not the inside, but the back part. So the last twist we're going to do is we're going to lift the toes, lift the ankle, rock on that ankle, and you're going to rotate the knee outwards. So the weight now goes on the outside. Now you're going to open up the outside part of your heel. Right knee straight, you're going to reach forward, come back up. Have a bit of a walk. Have a bit of a walk and let me know where the contact is in your heel.